Tonight on a special edition of Evenings.
Thank you, sir.
We travel to Washington, D.C.
St. Lo, that's where I came in.
to honor Puget Sound World War II veterans
You recognize any of these?
before these heroes are gone.
I think we're losing between 800 and 1,000 a day nationwide.
Nothing but a wall. Yet it just gets you.
Welcome to One Last Mission, Puget Sound Honor Flight.
Welcome to a very special evening from our nation's capital. As vintage planes fly over the National Mall to honor our veterans, tonight we intend to honor our veterans too. The population of World War II veterans is dwindling. Their median age is now 92, but there is an organization that makes it their mission to provide one last mission to the veterans of World War II. Here's St. Brian.
This is not a typical day at SeaTac.
We'd like to welcome you to Alaska Airlines Flight 7.
It's all decked out in red, white, and blue.
Here we go.
To welcome very special passengers.
They're excited. They're excited about going.
I want to honor you and thank you for your service.
Today's flight is a very special one today. It is our
60
great
World
honor
War
to
II veterans from Western Washington
If we can give a great round of applause to these World War II veterans.
embarking on the trip of a lifetime.
Makes me weepy.
Does it?
I don't know why, but
They hadn't been thanked before. They came home, they put their bags away, they went to work, they raised a family, and now they get a chance to really take part in what everybody appreciates what they did for us.
Veterans pay nothing for the trip to visit the war memorials in Washington, D.C.
Rosie the Riveter, right?
Something more precious than money is slipping away.
We really want to get them back there as quick as we can.
Hey, you just take your time.
Okay.
Puget Sound Honor Flight Board member Denise Rouleau says time is now the enemy.
You know, we had a gentleman on this trip that was supposed to go with us today, and he died on Wednesday. And that's the worst call that you get. So we don't want any more of those. We want to take them and show them the respect that they deserve and honor them in this way.
Having all these guys together in one place at one time, it's amazing.
It would not be an uneventful flight. A few hours in, an emergency. A veteran in need of immediate medical attention in the restroom. Honor Flight volunteer nurses spring into action, stabilize him, and take him to the hospital upon landing.
A lot of them are sick, they have health issues, so it really is a race against time to get them there.
First we counted the months, then the weeks, then the days. I don't usually get up at the crack of dawn, but that's what I did today. I see all these wonderful people waiting for us.
Welcome to Baltimore, sir.
They are taking good care of us. It's amazing.
Our King 5 crew followed the veterans during their adventures here in Washington, D.C. Day 2 began with a tribute to Puget Sound heroes at the World War II Memorial. Here's Michael King.
Now, if you look to your right, you'll see the big pencil.
Inside this tour bus scooting around our nation's capital,
What a humbling experience.
World War II veterans on one last mission, visiting Washington, D.C. with the Puget Sound Honor Flight.
Welcome to the World War II Memorial, sir.
Thank you, sir.
It gives us a chance to thank them and give them the respect that they deserve for what they did so many years ago that they've never been thanked for.
Our mission at Honor Flight is to share your stories. You'll never hear them, the only word I can use to describe, they'll never brag about themselves.
On behalf of Puget Sound Honor Flight, we thank you for your service.
They're humble.
Thank you very much.
I call them regular guys. It's just a common thread throughout all of them. They're all the same. That's been my experience anyway.
No spectacular.
Like many members of the greatest generation,
They're not going to write any books about me.
Army Sergeant Sam Cornell is reluctant to take credit for his contributions.
You won 4 Bronze Stars, though. Do you
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Those are hard to come by.
Yeah, they don't give them away.
No.
Why do you
Humility meets gratitude.
Well, yeah. I was there, and
My dad was in the Navy.
Yep.
In World War II, yeah.
oh, really? Oh, thanks for coming out.
Without them, we just wouldn't be able to live the way we do today, and it just makes me emotional. They're telling us thank you.
Great, thanks for coming out.
It's good to do that. It's good to go up and thank a veteran. As in today on our trip, when we had
the school kids come on board.
From Grand Blanc, Michigan.
The 40 school kids that were waiting out the doors.
Thank you guys for your service.
To shake every hand of those veterans on the bus.
Thank you.
Can you imagine what that did to those veterans?
Stick around for a while. Go for a ride.
I wish I could.
Thank you.
And those kids loved it too. So it's a big circle, and it keeps going around and around, and we just love the experience that we get to share with those veterans.
St. Lo, that's where I came in.
Memories.
Normandy and St. Lo, yeah.
And sacrifices made
Well, I wasn't there June 6th.
so many decades ago
Thank God.
come full circle through the visits and thank yous of this one last mission.
On March 20th, just a few days after the veterans returned from their honor flight trip, America's oldest living female World War II veteran, Lucy Coffey, passed away at the age of 108. Lucy was one of more than 350,000 women who served in World War II. And 4 of those women from the Pacific Northwest got to visit a memorial built in their honor. Kim Holcomb has that story.
Oh, it's a nice setup, isn't it? Yeah, no wind today.
94-year-old Dorothy Dwyer and her daughter, Marianne Holbert,
Beautiful.
visit the past at the Women in Military Service Memorial in Washington, D.C.
And you joined in 1942.
A celebration of women like Dorothy,
Here we are, right here.
who answered the call when our country needed them most. This pilgrimage was organized by the Puget Sound Honor Flight.
Yeah.
One last mission for the 60 aging veterans in their 80s and 90s who made the cross-country trip.
Okay?
4 of them,
sorry.
women. The most female veterans ever taken on one trip. Navy 2nd Class Petty Officer Fern Jacobson of Shelton, Navy 3rd Class Petty Officer Louise Benoit of Olympia, Army Sergeant Pat Wilson of Olympia, and Army Sergeant Dorothy Dwyer of Vancouver.
I had sand in my shoes, and I always wanted to travel.
Humble pioneers.
No, my mother was not happy that I did it, but I was already in.
Representing a major shift for women and for America. After the attack on Pearl Harbor, America's uniformed and civilian women jumped at the chance to keep the machine moving.
Fellows who were coming back from overseas or shipping out had never seen a girl in uniform a lot of times, and so we were quite a novelty.
Historians note this female workforce gave the Allies a winning edge over Hitler's Axis powers, who were slow to put women to work. Hitler called Americans degenerates for employing women in wartime industries. Nearly 350,000 women served in uniform, both at home and abroad during World War II. Some, like Dorothy, were right in the middle of the fight.
And found myself in Algiers, North Africa, on General Eisenhower's staff. And because I typed troop movements, the Germans tried to get a hold of me twice, but they were discovered. What the spies did was come through the battle line and take the uniform off a dead U.S. soldier and put it on, and they crossed the line as American soldiers.
And I worked at the Fleet Records office, and we handled the mail that couldn't be delivered the first time.
Fellow veteran Fern served as a Navy wave on the home front.
Sometimes that kind of a heartbreaking situation, because we would get back packets of mail that had been burned or torn, and try to find the person it was addressed to. In some cases, the person had expired, and it was very heartbreaking to have to do that kind of duty, only 20 years old.
America's female World War II veterans are a quiet reminder
You're a real hero.
of a turning point in world history.
If you have adventure in your heart, you can do anything.
Coming up.
It's nothing but a wall. Yet it just gets you.
The Issaquah World War II hero, whose biggest sacrifice happened in Vietnam. And an honor flight vet needs a special set of wings to bring him home to Washington.
Welcome back to a special edition of Evening from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Tonight we're honoring some local World War II veterans who recently came to this town to visit its many memorials. One of them has a heartbreaking story, not just of World War II, but of the Vietnam War. Here's Saint.
For the World War II veterans taking part in the Puget Sound Honor Flight, thank you is a phrase that reaches across generations.
That's nice. It's nice to be appreciated. You know that they don't really understand because they haven't lived through it. But still, it's nice that they're trying.
Thank you again for your service.
Thank you.
And thank you for helping him.
Yes, Mike's an honor. That sound feels good when it comes.
Navy Bosun Second Class Milton Ray of Issaquah served in the Pacific and fought in the biggest maritime battles of World War II.
War is hell. And that's true.
The Vietnam Memorial is a thank you that goes a long way.
Our government wants to show appreciation. We know that it's a drop in the bucket as to how they really feel. But what else is there? They're doing the best they can.
But it was November of '69, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is why Milton
It's about halfway
is
up
here today.
and one end.
This World War II vet's biggest sacrifice came out of Vietnam, the life of Milton's firstborn son, Randolph.
So my kid jumped up and pulled this guy out of this helicopter and was dragging him off the field when a mortar shell blew up and killed them both. They gave him a Silver Star, big deal. But he was doing what he thought was the right thing to do. War is hell.
CW66. He's going to be right down over here.
She went to Emmanuel to look up his son, to find him on a wall. And that kind of hit me hard, and I think it hit Mr. Ray hard.
When you go down there and you see all those names of all those kids, and particularly when one of them is yours.
There he is.
Yeah.
It all came down to finding his son's name engraved on a wall.
It's nothing but a wall, yet it just gets you. They think, well, gee, that's nice. And that's pretty, but what are you going to do? What's the government going to do? The poor kid's dead and gone. But it's nice at least that they're showing some sort of recognition.
Today was tough, you know. I mean, he said to me, a lot of years have gone by, but the pain never goes away.
Pain doesn't go away with the years.
In each war's memorial, Milton sees an attempt to acknowledge the high cost of war.
And you think, this is a stupid wall with some people's names on it. Big deal. We can go. It is a big deal. A lot of caring goes with it.
Up next, how a special set of wings brought this World War II hero home. And later, go behind the scenes with the volunteers of the Puget Sound Honor Flight. Travel and accommodations for evening provided by Puget Sound Honor Flight.
Welcome back to this special edition of Evening from Washington, D.C. One of the veterans aboard the Puget Sound Honor Flight became severely ill during the trip, but a special set of wings got him home.
This man lived it. It really happened.
A father and a son.
I'm just really thankful that he's still here.
Embarked on a once-in-a-lifetime trip to our nation's capital.
Just to see that World War II memorial was fantastic. It really was.
92-year-old Art Mahler,
Thank you.
a World War II veteran from Bellevue, and his son Steve joined 60 vets on the Puget Sound Honor Flight.
I don't know all of them, but I know the 3 stars means you got it 3 times, yes?
That's three battles.
When he's gone, his stories will go away.
We know about the Ardennes and the Battle of Bulge. Yeah.
Corporal Arthur P. Mahler fled Nazi occupation in his birth country of Austria, landed in the U.S., and joined the Army. Served as an interpreter on the front lines of the European theater of World War II, and won a Bronze Star for his efforts in the Battle of the Bulge.
He's a rock star.
All the sacrifices that you made.
He's got people coming up, you know, I mean, just saying thank you.
God bless you.
He's still here, and he survived. I mean, there were so many times where he wouldn't have made it, and I'm here because he pulled it through. So he's had a bunch of angels keeping a close eye on him.
Just a few hours later, Art's angels would need to fly in again.
He basically kind of just like fell off a cliff in his health. It just went downhill so fast.
He had a lot of activity in his lungs and was warm. So for a 90-year-old patient, we don't take any chances with that. So immediately it was decided upon that we would get him 911 and have him taken by ambulance over to emergency and got admitted on Monday, the 16th of March. He can't travel back on a commercial airline due to his need for oxygen.
We contacted a medevac company, AeroCare, and they're equipped with a Learjet. It's basically a flying ICU.
You know, I think it's going to just really, you know, bring up his spirits. I mean, we have family at home that would love to see us. The bottom line is that these guys are not going to be here,
you know, much longer.
Yeah.
Well, I'm positive, and I'll make it.
Art and his sons board the flying ICU.
That's a long flight.
Back in Seattle at Boeing Field,
His health is so fragile right now.
the Mahler family gathers for a homecoming.
So we'll see.
When are they going to be here? Any minute.
2 weeks in the making.
Yeah, it's been tough.
And finally, Art is home.
It was one of his best days. I mean, it was the flight over here was just very, very uplifting for him.
Welcome home. Feel pretty good. Yep. Everything going the right way.
A mission accomplished.
I think that's probably the best health care that he can have, is to be home with friends and family.
Okay, guys, come on, grandkids.
And a family reunited.
Dad loves his family, and we love him so much that it's just special to have him still a part of our life.
Good to be here.
Meet the dedicated volunteers who make the Puget Sound Honor Flight possible. Next.
Welcome back. Throughout this show, we have brought you stories from the Puget Sound Honor Flight, stories that have created memories and honored our veterans of World War II. But none of that would have been possible without the hard work of some dedicated volunteers. Kim Holcomb has their story.
It's the last day of the Puget Sound Honor Flight trip.
It says courage is doing what you're afraid to do.
We'll have taken at the end of 2015 almost 400 World War II vets back to DC to see their memorials. We're pretty proud of that.
The whole trip has been fantastic, well prepared and carried out, which I think is very important with a big group like this.
More surprises await the veterans.
I just wanted to tell you that you're the best paw in the world.
A special mail call with new letters addressed to each vet.
From David.
And a lively homecoming celebration at SeaTac.
The veterans go for free, so there's nothing for them to pay. It's all expense paid trip for them. So all someone has to do that's a World War II veteran is apply.
Dedicated volunteers work year-round to organize the trips and secure funding. But some of their biggest needs do not involve money.
So we build our base around having medical staff on the plane. The one caveat that we're missing now is we would love to have a doctor that flew with us each and every trip.
All efforts aimed at safely honoring our World War II vets before time catches up with them.
We need to find these guys because there's such a short timeline.
Maybe 18 months or so, and then the folks that are left may not be healthy enough to travel anymore.
With your help, the Puget Sound Honor Flight will continue to honor America's greatest generation.
If we don't acknowledge these folks and get their stories, they're gone.
If you'd like to learn more about Puget Sound Honor Flights or learn how to become a volunteer, just go to our website. We have some great links up there for you. Thanks for joining us tonight from Washington, D.C.